Okay, guys, so I have an update. I did my first ever termination today. I've been a manager how many times, and I even was in HR, and I've never terminated somebody. Um, so I had to. I didn't have a choice. She kind of made the choice for me, and yes, my face is red. I don't know what's going on. Like it feels heated and dried and patchy, and I've put lotion on it like 2, 3 times now. I don't know what's going on. Like my face is just rashing out or something. So just excuse it. So I go into work today. I'm the first one there to relieve the night person. Coffee lady's in there doing her usual thing Monday through Friday. For like 4 hours. She takes care of the coffee station in the mornings. It's truck day. We're having a huge truck today. And so like I'm prepping, I'm cleaning, I'm taking the trash out, I'm getting the food stocked up so when customers come in, we're not scrambling to do that with the truck coming in. I'm getting everything done. I start rearranging stuff. I'm moving, our display table over to the other side, and I'm moving boxes and throwing stuff away that's expired that wasn't thrown away. Apparently, it got audited. So that affected our audit a little bit. Two of which my boss called me and he goes, what time were your deliveries on Monday? And I said they were around noon. And he was like, well, send me the invoices because they tried to include all that product in the audit and that's going to make a difference. And he was like, I can dispute all of that and that'll change your audit score. I was like, okay, bet. So I found the invoices that said 12:05 for like 3 different trucks. They all showed up at the same time when I was leaving after the audit. 12:05 because the Coke truck blocked my car in. So I was sitting there waiting for the Coke truck to be done. So I know what time they showed up. The audit was done by like 10 o'clock. So I sent those to him and we're going to dispute the audit. So I might even raise my score even a little bit more. Win-win. But I like that. So anyway, and then in comes one of the employees, and she is not scheduled for today. She clocks in. I'm like, okay. I ain't saying nothing right now because I kind of need a little bit of help, and my next person hasn't come in yet. She's late. I'm not gonna say this is a normal thing because it is, but she's late. And I'm like, okay, well, let me finish doing my stuff and then I'll focus on it. I'll figure it out. I don't really have extra time to spare on my calendar. We're allotted a certain amount of time to give out to the employees. I'm not allotted the extra time. She also has an issue with reading the schedule and comprehension and all sorts of stuff. We print it out, we put it in the office, we send it in the group chat. Like there's copies upon copies of this. And all you gotta do is ask, do I work today? Do I work tomorrow? I have my phone on me all the time. She never asks. She just complains that she can't read it. Regardless. So everything's going fine. My morning shift person comes in. She's confused because she's like, I'm pretty sure I'm working today. I was like, yeah, pretty sure you are too. I'll get to the bottom of it. I'll figure it out. And then my secondary morning person comes in. I have 2 on truck days to come in to help because I have to get paperwork and stuff done as well as other things, plus checking in the truck, plus dealing with customers. So I need one person at the register, one person helping with the truck and food, and then I have to do paperwork. Which is what we did. It was technically all 3 of us putting the truck away because it was huge. Anyway, I'm in there doing paperwork. Truck had just shown up, but hadn't parked because there were cars in the way. So it was on the other side of the parking lot. And this person that came in, that wasn't scheduled, comes in the office behind me. I'm trying to count money for the deposit. My door's supposed to be shut. Nobody's supposed to be able to come in. Like that's money. that's the corporate's money. And she's putting her finger up against the schedule and y'all can't be doing this. I was promised this 6 a.m. I was like, ma'am, I cannot offer you 6 a.m. I've told you this before. 6 a.m. is not a scheduled time for employees. That is a manager's scheduled time. We come in at 5 and 6 in the morning. Employees come in at 8 and 9. I can't offer that. Well, I was offered this when I was hired. But okay, I wasn't the manager that hired you. And the manager that hired you works at another store. I cannot uphold what another manager promised. Sorry, not sorry. It's my story now. Like it or not, I cannot uphold it. I can't cater to one person and not cater to everybody else. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not fair. Oh, you need to stop spacing it out. I got days in between. She's banging her finger up against it. I got days in between it. I do not have the hours to offer you to fill in the rest of your week. You're going to have to find a second job. Sorry, not sorry. Everybody's part-time. And I tell everybody this. I do not have the hours to hand out. Everybody has the same amount of hours almost. But the people that have been there longer get an extra 4 hours a week at best. They're all in the 20s. Now they're going to get a little bit more, but that's great for them. Because now I have 20 hours to spare. But she didn't like that. So she storms off. And one of the other morning people, she's swearing and everything. And the other morning person told her to stop. Like, she's not going to deal with it, whatever. And she got even louder. And she was like, you're not effing teaching me this, that, and the other anyway. And da-da-da-da. I don't want to hear your mouth. Da-da-da. I'm owed hours. I'm owed this. I'm owed that. No, you're not. You work for us. We don't work for you. Sorry. So now I have to put down couple $1,000s of money and hide it in the office to leave the office and shut the door behind me because now I have money out in the office. And monitor the situation. And by the time that I was able to get out the door, which was literally like 30 seconds, she's already come around the counter and is yelling at this employee now. Like, threatening to go outside and fight her in the parking lot and taunting her and F-bombs. And I've got regulars that are in there at this time. I had 3 regulars that are in every morning. Standing there like... One refused to leave. Like she was in the middle of it. She was telling her she needed to leave and everything like that. Telling her that her actions weren't appropriate, and that just escalated the whole situation. Like, I don't need customers getting involved. So when I came out there, I told her she needed to leave. I said just go. And she's outside, and she's ranting and raving to anybody that'll listen to her. So I put my head out the door. I say, you need to leave the property. I say, you need to just clock out and go. And then she turned around to me and she was like, well, I was promised this and this all over again. You need to call that other manager. No, I don't. She does not make the decisions for my store. And so I thought I told her, no, that's not going to happen. You need to go. Get off the property. And I don't know, she's out there ranting and raving for a little bit longer. She comes in and I'm behind the counter, cleaning something. I forgot what I was doing. But she gets into the office. The door is cracked open. I have the money hidden, but it's still in there. And the door is cracked open and a manager's not standing in the office. And she's fighting with the computer or whatever So I go in there and she goes, this dang thing's not letting me log out. I can't figure it out. It's da, da, da. I don't know if she's even putting her password in correctly because we had that whole issue when I hired her, or I didn't hire her. The other manager hired her to begin with, and I had to have her set up on the program to do her training and everything. She kept forgetting her password. She kept typing it in incorrectly. It's like she's not computer literate. I've had to reset it a dozen times. And I was like, don't worry about it. I can change, the time and the scheduling. I can put it in and everything like that. I can clock you out. Don't worry about it. I have that authorization. She didn't listen to me the first time because I walked away to give her the space to leave the office without feeling crowded and starting a whole nother argument. And I'm standing at the front counter, and one of the other employees is like staring at me like, what the hell? And I just like, I don't know. So I went back to the office and I was like, I can clock you out. You need to go. Oh, well, you need to call this other manager. No, that's not going to happen. You need to go. I will clock you out. Okay, cool. So she goes outside and she stands off to the side of the building. We can still see her on the corner of the camera. And she's on her phone. She's clearly calling that other manager, thinking that she's just going to get her way. And I'm now putting the truck away. The truck has pulled in. It's unloading boxes after boxes after boxes. I'm in one of the aisles. I'm starting to put the truck away while another person is checking in the rest of the truck and everything. And she comes, where is she? Where is she at? Where is she in the office? Where is she? Da-da-da-da. And she finds me in the aisle. I'm in the candy aisle. And she was like, the other manager's name, said to put me on second shift. I said, no, ma'am. I said, you were fired. Like this, I'm not tolerating this. She does not dictate my schedule. She does not dictate what I do in my building. And because you threatened another employee, you're terminated. Like, I've taken you off the schedule. You need to leave the building. And goes back out there and calls her again. Comes back in a couple minutes later. Well, go ahead and put in my transfer for over there. No, ma'am, you're taken out of the system entirely. When you're terminated, you're removed from the system. You're not hired back. You're not able to. No response from that whatsoever. She just left. Finally. And so I dropped what I was doing, went and grabbed my cell phone out of the office. I called that other manager. And I said, I don't know how much you've heard of one side of the story, but I have terminated this employee. She cannot be transferred, whatever. And she goes, so you've terminated her entirely? I said, yes, ma'am. She goes, oh, okay. She goes, may I ask what happened? I said, she threatened another employee and she tried to tell me how to do my job. I said it's insubordination, and she was swearing, and she had already been written up for swearing last month. Like, literally to the day, on the 19th, last month. She was written up for it. And because customers are complaining. I was like, I'm not going to tolerate it. And the conditions of the write-up was, if it happened again, it was immediate termination. And I said, on top of threatening another employee, I wasn't going to tolerate that. I'm not going to keep you at my store to be around any employees or any customers if that's what you're going to do over a schedule. And she goes, well, do you even know who started? I said, I don't care who started what. She started it with me in the office. She carried it out to start it with other employees. And I'm sitting here listening to it the entire time. She's the one swearing. She's the one threatening people. And she was the one that was made to leave. The other employees handled it completely gracefully. They dealt with it the way they needed to, and they focused on their job. She did not. Sorry, not sorry. And she was like, okay. I said, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Went back to putting the truck away. I have not heard from either one of those for the rest of the day. It is now like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So if they're having conversations between themselves and trying to get her over there to that store, more power to them. But as far as the termination itself goes in the system, I put not eligible for rehire. And I put in a full statement at the bottom what happened and why. That was my decision. Because she threatened another employee. And I have zero tolerance for it. So that was my first ever termination. And I almost had to call the cops. Because she would not leave. She stayed outside for a good 40 minutes. Aside from all that, trying to plan Father's Day, I enrolled, unbeknownst to him, Robert into 2 giveaways, and we won one of them. So I don't know how the other one's going to go, which would be really cool to win that one too. It's like a $50 gift certificate, but we won the other one, which was a giveaway from a radio station, which is a $50 gift certificate for a place that's like a pastry shop or something like that, a little convenience store, and 2 free large trays of barbecue from this little hole-in-the-wall kind of food cart place. Amazing stuff. You just have to order ahead of time. So 2 large full trays of that, and a free state inspection from one of the local places was part of the giveaway. So pretty cool. We'll pick up the gift certificate tomorrow. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Can't really think of anything else going on. I did take him to a Harley Davidson meetup or whatever for Father's Day. He got to socialize a little bit with some of the people that already knew him that were up there. Some of the bikers too that were up there that are usually up there at the events. So that was getting him out of the house a little bit. He could not ride, obviously, so we weren't along for the ride that they did, and we didn't really eat the food there because they were doing like pulled pork sandwiches and stuff, and he barely has the use of one hand. So we weren't going to deal with that. We just got food and went home. But it was good to get out of the house a little bit. Tomorrow there's a car show, I believe, but I don't know. I've got sciatica or something going on. I've got real extreme weakness in my hips right now. I can barely stand up as it is, so I'm just going to rest for today and see how tomorrow goes. And I think that's about it. I have a video clip of a rainbow I saw that I'll include, and I can't think of anything else I've recorded lately. I think that's pretty much it. But I figured I would update you guys on an interesting experience I had today and my first ever termination story. Tell me your wildest termination story. Either your termination or something you witnessed or one that you had to do. Like, because I am all for that. I hope mine isn't like the worst of the worst. Anyway. Alright, unboxing. Says this end up. Box may be heavy. So, because Robert broke his arms, I think his insurance signed him up for Meals on Wheels. Yep. Hang on. So, we've got post-discharge welcome insert. Tray wellness menu, maple waffle pork sausage patty, fruit crisp, barbecue chicken patty with potatoes and vegetables, a meatloaf with gravy, pasta and veggies, cheese tortellini, marinara sauce veggies, white bean ham soup pretzel bites, white chicken chili with beans and veggies, creamy chicken and mushroom casserole with veggies, General Tso's chicken with veggies and rice, an orange chipotle chicken patty with rice and veggies, cinnamon oatmeal with turkey egg scramble, chicken primavera with pasta and fruit crisp, buttermilk pancakes, eggs patty and fruit crisp, whole grain pancakes with pork sausage patty and fruit crisps, Korean style barbecue sauce, meatballs, rice and vegetables, and some sort of non-discrimination. Hang on. So it's packed in a big block of ice or two. So these have to somehow fit in my freezer somewhere. Goodness, a couple of blocks of ice. But they're like little dinner meals and heating instructions and stuff like that. So very cool. So this one's, you want to put these in the freezer? You want to find a spot for these in the freezer?
One thing, I need you to remove the cabbage. It almost crushed my car this morning.
Shove this down here. Pork loin. It's not cabbage. It's cauliflower.
Cauliflower. I'm sorry.
Cauliflower. I'm gonna get one down here, I think. Ooh, go in. Chicken. Chicken can go up here. I think we got space.
There's your dumplings.
Yeah, that's one of my dumplings. I got another one somewhere. I'll find it. Anyway. So
that's a lot of food.
Yes. So this one is the meatball loaf with gravy. Here, whole pasta. Where are you going? You have to put it in the fridge. This one is chicken primavera, blueberry and peach crisp. Orange chicken chipotle with brown rice. Looks pretty good. Barbecue chicken patty with potatoes. These are pretty big pieces of chicken in there. This one is cinnamon oatmeal with turkey and egg scramble. That's the scramble. That's a lot of egg too.
Well, let me do something real quick.
Alright. This one is creamy chicken mushroom casserole with veggies. Cheese tortellini and marinara sauce with peas. You don't even like peas. Maple waffle pork sausage patty, cinnamon apple crisp. And last but not least, no, not least, because there's more down there. White chicken chili with beans and mixed veggies. Another big block of ice. Pancakes, pork sausage, apple crisp. White bean ham soup. Interesting. Pretzel bites. Big pretzel bites. Korean style barbecue with meatballs. White rice broccoli. And General Tso's chicken and veggies.
And that's all of it?
That's all of it. And 4 giant blocks of ice. This got to be the brightest freaking rainbow I've ever seen in my life.